All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Meralco Power Up Live, Empowering Business Growth. As you may all know, Power Up Live is a webinar series which aims to empower businesses with power demands below 500 kilowatts through energy services and solutions. My name is Kevin La Peña, and I will be your host for this afternoon's program. Did you know that for the month of May, we commemorate National Electrical Safety Month? And closely related to electrical safety is fire safety, as faulty electrical wiring is the top cause of fire in the country. So for today's webinar, we partnered with the Bureau of Fire Protection to share tips and solutions to keep your businesses safe. In preventing electrical accidents, a little care and vigilance will surely go a very long way to help you avoid a good deal of damage, and in the process, ensure the safety of your employees, colleagues, and most importantly, your business. Rest assured that you can always count on Meralco to help you and your businesses operate more safely, efficiently, and cost-effectively. So we hope that you will listen attentively and participate in the discussions later on with our panel of experts. But before we proceed with today's presentations, I just want to check in on how you guys are doing so far. So with that, may I please invite everybody to click on the Reactions tab at the bottom of your screen and select the emoji that best represents how you are feeling this afternoon. All right, quick check. Oy, may isang surprise emoji. Very interesting choice. Lots of thumbs up, celebratory emojis, hearts. Thank you very much. At least we got a little gauge on the pulse of you guys. Thank you all again for participating in this little room check. Okay, we hope that you will stay tuned and remain engaged all throughout the webinar. But before we move on with our program, we'd like to remind everybody to please find a good spot where your internet signal is strong, because we wouldn't want you to miss out on the interesting discussions and activities later on. And if you have any comments or questions about the presentations, please go ahead and type them in the Q&A tab so we can address these during our panel discussion later on. Should you have any account-related concerns, you may also send your messages through the link that we will be sending in the chat box right now. And as always, to add fun to our Power Up Live session, we're going to be playing some trivia games later on in the program. Just make sure to listen attentively so that you can answer the questions at the end of each presentation. Our lucky winners will be receiving special prizes care of Meralco. All right, and with that, let's get this webinar officially started. To formally welcome everyone to today's Meralco Power Up Live webinar, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the Meralco Biz South Area Manager, the very charming Mr. Michael Antonio.
All right. Thank you, Kevin, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining today's Power Up Live webinar. Kamusta po kayong lahat, and I hope you are all doing well. Today's webinar is very important as we continue to observe the fire prevention season and Electrical Safety Month. As seen in the news, marami po tayong naganap na sunog in our community. So keeping our community safe is a shared responsibility, so we need to work together to prevent fires and ensure safe operations of our businesses. Today, we are honored to have with us the Fire Safety Enforcement Division Chief of Bureau of Fire Protection, NCR, Superintendent Gerard A. Venezuela, to talk about the fire safety programs of the government that can protect our business from fires. But before we proceed with the webinar, allow me to introduce who we are and what we do. So as a background, Meralco is grouped into 3 segments to better manage and address the varying needs of our customers. Residential, microbusiness, and local government accounts are under the home and microbiz segments, while corporate and national government accounts are under the enterprise and national governments. SMEs like you are being served by our segment, Meralco Biz. We know electricity is critical to your business, from starting up to maintaining your operations, from bouncing from this pandemic or crisis, and especially for your expansion. And today, I will share with you the benefits of having a strategic and long-term partnership with Meralco so we can help achieve your business goals. First, We can power your business in time for your target opening. Alam ko po, madami sa inyo ang nagpapa-feng shui pa just to determine the best time to open your business. Tama po? So kaya dapat from the planning stage pa lang, we highly encourage our customers to collaborate with us to determine your power requirements and conduct site assessment of the Meralco facilities available in your chosen location. So with this, we can plan ahead and work together for your power requirements and power your business sa target schedule ninyo. So here we have Miss Lorna Sarviento of BioStar. We planned previous years for their warehouses and probiotic plant in San Pablo, Laguna. Second, as your business operates and grow, we know that your business requirements change as well. So as your end-to-end solutions partner, we offer services and solutions that can help improve operational efficiency, generate savings, and maximize profitability. We will help you assess the requirements of your business, recommend the service or solution match with your needs. So meron po kaming Power Consult, Power Match, and Peak and Off-Peak programs. So we have here XRC Mall, Sunland, who are some of our customers who availed of these services. Para sa mga naka-solar naman or planning to put up a solar facility, meron din kaming net metering and zero export programs. And if you want convenience when paying your Meralco bill, we highly encourage you to enroll to auto payment arrangement through your partner banks. And if you're looking for networking opportunities, we also conduct business-to-business events wherein you will have the opportunity to meet new clients who will sell your products and services and suppliers that can provide you with your requirements for your business. Lastly, we can help you grow your business through innovative solutions and technologies from Meralco's subsidiaries and affiliates. So our subsidiaries includes Spectrum, which provides solar PV solution, Radius, which offers 100% fiber internet connectivity, Isakai, which provides mobility solutions through electric vehicle and charging stations, MServe, which specializes in energy efficiency and electrical safety solution, Mescore for your construction requirements. So if you're looking for these requirements, just reach out to us. Yeah. So here are just some of our customers whose businesses have grown and expanded to the strategic partnership with Meralco. So I'm sure familiar po sa inyo yung ibang customers dito, Dunkin' Donut, DHL, 7-Eleven, Shell, Microtel, and many more. So in closing, we look forward to partnering with you. Sana next time kayo naman po ang ma-feature namin dito sa webinar. And if you want to consult with us and learn more about our programs and services or anything about electrical safety, which we will cover today, you can visit our website, email, or call our hotline. So I hope you will learn a lot from today's webinar and that you are all also inspired to collaborate with us so we can power a brighter tomorrow for your business. Again, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat at marami pong salamat.
All right, Mr. Michael Antonio, ladies and gentlemen, a virtual round of applause for Mr. Michael Antonio, everybody. Sir Mike, maraming salamat po. I don't know if you noticed, but when I introduced you, parang ang daming heart emoji bigla lumabas. Grabe talaga yung impact ni Sir Mike. Okay, so now with that out of the way, let's now call in our first speaker for this afternoon. He will be sharing with us some statistics about fire incidents in the Philippines and the programs being implemented by the government to keep our homes and businesses safe from fire. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome the Chief of the Fire Safety Enforcement Division of the Bureau of Fire Protection, NCR, who just so happens to be a registered electrical engineer as well. Everybody, please put your hands together for Superintendent Gerard A. Venezuela.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Mr. Kevin Labeño, for that kind introduction. So, without further ado, let's start the presentation. Well, we are honored to be here today as we give you our updates in our mandates and implementation of the Fire Prevention Service. So, next slide, please. We start by showcasing the historical data of our fire incidents from the last year and other empirical data related to them. Then we will report on the top causes of fire incidents and which hazard is considered the most prominent cause for fire in Metro Manila. We will also review the mandates of our organization, the Bureau of Fire Protection, as well as our interventions in fire safety enforcement and our fire prevention programs. Next slide, please. Last year, we recorded a total number of 2,904 cases of fire incidents in Metro Manila. Among these, 46.83% are structural fires or fires which involve establishments or companies, occupancies. The remaining 53.17% are considered non-structural fires, of which 4.6% are vehicular origin. The total amount of damage from the fire incidents last year totaled to 1.1 billion pesos, with 98.96% of it billed to structural fire incidents. Next slide, please. The top 3 causes of fire as determined by our investigative and intelligence units show that electrical connection in these structural fires were considered as the main culprit. All 3 causes, electrical ignition caused by arcing, electrical ignition caused by loose connection, and overheated home appliances, show that for the majority of the fires last year, negligence or some form of misuse of electrical connections were present and were the ignition source. The most common occupancy involved in last year's data of fire incident was residential occupancies, which was 71.62% of the structural fires. This was followed by mercantile occupancies, about 7.65%, and 4.71% business occupancies. Next slide, please. As the data indicates, that although the number of non-structural fires are slightly above the number of structural fires incidents, we still accounted a massive 1.1 billion worth of damages from fire. The main culprit for last year's property damage are structural fires, which also has its share for injuries and casualties, particularly for civilians. It is also worth noting that the main hazard involved in these structural fires are of electrical causes, majority affecting households all over the region. Thus, there is a need for an immediate intervention from us. Next slide, please. The mandate of our agency by law is to uphold and sustain public safety by enforcing Republic Act 9514, also known as the Fire Code of the Philippines of 2008, and its revised implementing rules and regulations. We conduct routinary inspections of buildings and establishments, private or government-owned, to ensure that these structures adhere to what is considered a fire-safe standards prescribed by the law. This is to ensure the safety and welfare of our occupants, as well as the property itself, to minimize the incidents and extent of fire-related damages. To report, next slide, please. To report, as of April 2023, The total target number of establishments to be inspected for this year is 351,727. As of the first quarter, we already inspected 32.86% of this total and had issued 97,896 fire safety inspection certificate, or 84.72% for the total inspected establishments. Of the total inspected, there are 17,657 establishments that had been issued a notice to comply and one establishment issued for closure. Next slide, please. However, fire safety inspections only encompasses business and public structures. This cannot be applied to residential occupancies, which is the most number of cases for structural fires. With that in mind, the BFP launched a few programs to help mitigate the chances and adverse effects of fires in residential occupancies, especially in single and two-family dwellings. Oplan Ligtas Pamayanan, or OLP, is a program that aims to empower the barangays to be vigilant, response-oriented, and resilient unit to fire occurrences as an emergency first responder to destructive fires. It has two major components: the identification of fire hazards in their community, or hazard mapping through the formulation of the Community Fire Protection Plan, or CFPP, and the creation of the responding unit organized by the barangay or the Community Fire Auxiliary Group, or CFAG. The OLP has emphasizes the conduct of house-to-house visiting for fire safety. During the pandemic, the OLP transitioned into an online initiative to maintain the positive momentum of the program in safekeeping the community. It invoked two new initiatives: the posting of fire safety tips through various social media portals, including the official BFP NCR page, to attain the widest dissemination of fire safety information, and the OLP on the road, where the BFP continuously reminded the public to remain vigilant against destructive fires through increasing fire truck visibility and continuous playing of fire safety tips through public address system. Now, in the post-pandemic era, OLP evolved into a new form, combining the online presence of the BFP through the BFP Live, which aims to disseminate safety measures online with a wide range of discussions relative to fire protection, and the revival of competency trainings for fire brigades and fire volunteers. Fire volunteer organizations to serve as force multiplier and ensure smooth, responsive, strategic response aligned with the BFP protocols. Next slide, please. As of May 2023, the BFP has trained a total of 1,304 fire brigades, 515 fire volunteers organizations, and 29 CFA groups. Next slide, please. In line with the efforts, BFP also conducted an electrical safety seminar that aimed to hone and sustain competence of BFP fire safety enforcers in relation to electrical safety in establishments. BFP has also continued a new generation of fire safety advocacy posters and advocacy with the city fire station and the respective AORs. Also, BFP, in coordination with establishment owners and administrators, launched the CAISA partnership, ensuring active involvement in upholding and enforcing fire safety in their establishments. Under the CAISA partnership, An establishment is issued a star seal every year of having complied all fire safety requirements pursuant to RA 9514. Establishments that are issued with a star seal for 3 consecutive years are then eligible to receive the Gawad Ligtas na Gusali Award. And as of the first quarter of 2023, we have a total of 1,985 active partners. Please note that the KAISA program was activated in March 2021. Of these 1,985 partners, we have 155 establishments with 1-star seal and 2 establishments who achieved 2-year streak garnering 2-star seals. Last but not the least, the MBOS Plus brings the BFP services in front of our very doorsteps of the establishment in order to promote ease of doing business. The MBOS Plus also aims to showcase the BFP response capabilities with actual demonstrations of emergency response and basic rescue techniques. MBOS Plus is an interactive activity open to all. Next slide, please. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you and have a good day. Hope you like and learn some lessons from my presentation. Thank you very much again.
I'm pretty sure they did. Thank you very much, Superintendent Venezuela. Very insightful presentation, very thorough. Maraming salamat po for joining us this afternoon. Okay, so for those of you who may want a copy of Superintendent Venezuela's presentation, a recording of this webinar will be uploaded on the Meralco website. Once the link is available, it will be shared with all our registered attendees. All right. Also, if you have any comments or questions about the presentations, please go ahead and type them on the Q&A tab now. We're going to be addressing them during our panel discussion later in the program. Okay, meanwhile, it's time to play a quick trivia challenge. We're going to be asking a question based on Superintendent Venezuela's presentation. So hopefully you guys are paying attention, right? All you need to do is just to type in your answer into the chat box, and whoever sends in the correct answer ahead of everybody else will get to win a very special prize. So please pay attention. Here now is our first trivia question. Give one of the top 3 causes of structural fire. Go ahead and type in your answers into the chat box right now. Just one of the 3 causes of structural fire. We're looking for it a little more specific because a lot of people are saying electrical, siguro a little more specific. Thank you very much. We've been paying attention. Looks like we have a few already, but to give chance to the rest, we're going to give you a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and that is it. Here are the correct answers to our trivia question. Electrical ignition caused by arcing. Electrical ignition caused by loose connection and overheated home appliances. So if you were able to answer any of these 3, congratulations in advance. Just wait till the end of the program para ma-announce po namin yung official list of winners. Okay? Now we move on with our next speaker for this afternoon, who will be sharing with us some electrical safety tips. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the Occupational Safety and Health Officer of Meralco. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Patrick Sean Pineda.
Thank you very much, Kevin. All right. So I'm glad to see everyone, and I hope that you all get something out of my presentation this afternoon. All right. So this is the overview of my presentation this afternoon. An overview of the Philippine power industry. What are the electrical hazards? What are electrical risks? And how do we mitigate these by the 10 golden rules of electrical safety? So just an overview of the Philippine electrical industry so that we learn to appreciate how we get our electricity, or paano natin nakukuha yung ating kuryente sa ating mga businesses and our homes. So of course, it starts with generation. Generation companies produce electricity, And then the transmission lines or yung mga matataas na tore along SLEX or NLEX, kung nakikita nyo po yun, are the ones that carry electricity at high voltages over long distances. And this is where it brings it to Meralco. And then of course, distribution, dyan na po pumapasok si Meralco, where we are as a company, and electricity is reduced to lower voltages at substations, and Meralco brings electricity to the customers. And of course, yung end line ng electricity is powers delivered to you, our customers. What's the importance of electrical safety? So we all know that electricity is a vital element in running our households and operating our businesses. No, wala pong, I'm pretty sure sa ating audience that wala pong gaganang business or wala pong household na magkakaroon ng operations if walang kuryente. However, if not controlled or properly used, electricity can be very dangerous and may result to accidents. Okay, so electrical safety is all about recognizing the hazards. So dapat na iintindihan po natin o nakikita natin yung mga hazards and associated with the use of electrical energy and taking precautions to avoid injury or death. So alam naman natin that if we can use electricity safely, then napakalaking benefit nito sa ating businesses at sa pang-araw-araw na buhay. So dun po tayo sa electrical hazards. Pero una, ano po bang hazards, no? So ang electrical hazard or hazard is any source of potential damage, harm, or adverse health effect on something or someone. So kahit anong bagay yan na may potential para masaktan tayo, no, or can cause injury, then that is a hazard. But prior to hazards, you also have to identify ano ba yung types of energy or energy sources that can bring hazards. So ayan po yung examples: mechanical, one of them is also electrical, chemical, motion, pressure, radiation, sound, biological, temperature, gravity. So all of these are types of energy but can also bring with it hazards. If we focus on hazards, then there are also two types of hazards, what we call the unsafe conditions and unsafe practices. So when it comes to electrical hazards, ito, yung next slides ko po will share what are these electrical unsafe conditions and electrical unsafe practices. Okay po? So yung first is unsafe condition. So number one, exposed energized facilities. So ito po yung mga facilities natin na walang cover, no? Wala na may live na kuryenteng dumadaan, but walang secure way to prevent people from coming near it. Number two is overloaded electrical circuits or equipment. Number three, loose or lack of grounding connection. Other unsafe conditions, damage to wire insulation. So ito po yung mga wiring natin na natanggal na yung covering, yung protective covering insulation. So yung insulation is very important po kasi it's dual purpose. It keeps the equipment safe for use, no, and also keeps the energy flowing safely. And then number five, loose electrical connections. And then number six, substandard appliances and electrical equipment or appliances or equipment that have no UL or ICC markings. So ayan po yun, sinasabi ko. So I'm pretty sure meron po tayong mga ganyang equipment, no, na sa bahay. Please make sure na yung mga equipment natin sa bahay, lalo if it's electrical in nature or electrical related, dapat meron po silang ganitong mga safety markings. Ano pa mga unsafe condition? Ayan, blocked or inaccessible panel boards, unsafe condition po ito. Kasi whenever we need an emergency, may nangyari emergency at kailangan nating patayin yung source, no, we cannot access it kasi nga nakaharang, may mga nakaharang, no. Number 8, dirt and dust accumulation on electrical installations. So hindi po na-maintain. So unsafe condition din po 'yan. And then number 9, conductors installed without conduits or raceways. Sa mga factories nyo, check nyo po, or sa mga businesses nyo, baka meron kayong mga ganyang klaseng wiring, no? So unsafe po din yan. And then number 10, open wiring or no insulation. Ito po yung type of unsafe condition where bara-bara lang pagkakagawa ng mga so-called electricians, no? Or mga people who are dealing with electricity. Tapos, number 11, improper wiring method. So dito sa picture na to, rather than creating a proper installation, tinali nila o pinalupot nila sa puno. And number 12, improper wiring methods. So dito, for example, sa picture na to, hindi po tugma yung rating ng wire sa baba versus yung rating ng wire sa taas. So ayan po yung mga unsafe conditions. So that's the first. Now we go to unsafe practices. No? Number 1, use of electrical devices in wet or hazardous conditions. So very dangerous po ito dahil we all know that water is a conductor of electricity, and the water and electricity don't mix, no? And that's very dangerous when we have two in one location. Number 2, electrical works carried out by unqualified individuals. So unsafe practice din po ito, no? Yung pag-hire natin ng tao na kung sino-sino lang na nandyan sa tabi-tabi to do our electrical works at home or in our businesses. No, wala silang proper certification, wala silang proper background to handle electricity. Number 3, unrestricted access to energized or high voltage facilities. Yun sinasabi natin na kahit sino po ay pwedeng lumapit sa inyong breaker, kahit sino po ay pwedeng lumapit sa mga high voltage facilities ninyo. So that's an unsafe practice din po. Number 4, working on energized facilities without proper skills, tools, and PPEs. Ayan po. So like I said, unsafe practice po yung lalapit kayo sa isang electrical facility nang wala man lang kayong tamang training, wala rin kayong tamang tools, at wala rin kayong tamang personal protective equipment. Number 5, not following safe electrical work practices. Specifications and ratings are not compliant with PEC standards. So yun nga sinasabi nila, yung bara-bara lang po ang pagkakagawa ng mga circuits or ng electrical systems natin. So bawal po yun. Unsafe practice din po yun. Number 6, use of appliance or electrical equipment with incorrect voltage rating. So ayun po. So kung nakita niyo yung image, 220 yung yung power output ng ating power outlet, pero ang sinasaksak po is 110 volt rated na appliance. So that is an unsafe practice. Okay. So ito po, I think this image summarizes it best, no, how accidents happen, no. Electrical hazards need to be recognized because when you combine an unsafe condition with an unsafe act or practice, it can lead to a near miss. So near miss, swerte po 'yon. Ibig sabihin na iwasan natin yung insidente, but ang opposite noon is kung swerte din kayo na naging accident po 'yon, no. So it always happens. Many do not understand the existing and potential hazards. So hindi nila nakikita na unsafe pala yung condition, hindi nila nakita na yung ginagawa nila is unsafe practice na rin po. So those who do not understand itong mga to, do not realize how quickly a situation can change. So mabilisan lang po yan, pwedeng magbago. No? So katulad sa picture, meron ng dalawang elements, yung unsafe condition, dito sa picture, nakabulat-lat na yung wiring nung device niya. Yung unsafe act, patuloy niyang ginamit, no? At inaapakan pa niya yung wiring, no? So nangyari, near miss, swerteng hindi siya nakuryente, pero dun sa dulo, pwede ring naging accident 'yon, no? Nang pagkahawak niya, na-accident siya. So yan po yung nangyayari kapag hindi tayo aware or hindi natin binibigyan ng pansin yung unsafe conditions and unsafe acts. So ano naman mga risks? No? Kanina pinag-usapan natin yung hazards. Ano naman ang risks? Una, define natin kung anong risk. Ang risk is the chance or probability that a person will be harmed or experience an adverse health effect. So ano ba yung mga adverse health effects yan? Electrocution, burns, pwedeng na kuryente tas mahuhulog ka, fall injury, and or economic loss, which is due to fire. Pwedeng masunog naman dahil hindi nga tayo, yun yung isang risk ng kuryente, no? ng pag-handle or having electrical equipment. So like I said kanina, kung nakita niyo yung image, hazard is something that can potentially cause harm. No? So for example, dito lang sa image na to, a shark is a hazard. Tama? Kasi it can potentially cause harm. Pero nagiging risky lang siya if nagkakaroon ng exposure. Ibig sabihin, napapalapit ang isang tao or individual dun sa hazard na yon. No? So if malayo, hazards can exist anywhere, but if wala namang taong lumalapit dun sa hazards na yon, walang exposure. So hindi mababa ang risk. no? So pero sa atin sa daily life natin, like I said, electricity is part of our daily life, no? Electrical equipment, part po 'yan ng ating pang-araw-araw. Kaya mataas ang risk natin kasi parati tayong na-expose sa ganung type of hazard. So and therefore, with that exposure comes with it yung mga risks. Ano mo yung pwedeng mangyari, no? So for electricity, ito po yung common na pwedeng mangyari: electrical shock, electrical fire, arc flash or arc blast, and then electrical related trips and falls. Okay? So isa-isahin po natin yung risks na yan. So ito yung pinaka-common po, no, yung electrical shock. I'm pretty sure po lahat po na nandito ngayon sa audience kahit paano ay naka-experience yan na makuryente, no, at some point in their life. At hindi natin gusto yung feeling na yun, no. So electrocution is death or severe injury by electric shock with electric current passing through the body, no. So the higher the current, the more severe is the impact to the victim. So ito po yung sinasabi natin chart, no, kung makita nyo, milliamperes lang yung current na dumadaloy at makita nyo kung ano yung effect sa katawan ng tao. So at kung makita nyo at 20 nagko-contract na po yung muscles. Ibig sabihin wala na tayong control sa muscles natin. At 30 pwedeng mag-suffocate na yung tao. At 100 heart stops beating, breathing stops at 300 milliamperes, severe burns na po at 900, and then 1,000 well the usual 1,000 milliamperes is will lights up a 100-watt bulb. So ibig sabihin lang, ang gusto lang natin emphasize na kahit mababa lang ng milliamperes ay mayroon ng severe na pwedeng injury sa tao, no? So ingat po tayo. Next, electrical fires. So overloaded or damaged insulation or loosely connected electrical components, wires, circuit breakers, appliances, and motors can become an ignition source and start electrical fires. I think na-share din to kanina ng ating BFP, si Superintendent Gerard, na one of the main causes of fire is electrical in nature. No? So nakita natin kanina, electrical nature by arcing or by loose connection, and then overheating appliances. So ito po rin is one of the most common risks related to electricity. So we have to ensure na maingat tayo sa paggamit ng kuryente. And then ito po yung isa pa, lalo when you're working with high voltage electricity, no? Lalo na sa ating mga companies. Ayan, kung makita niyo yung image, sumabog, no? Yung electrical cabinet, no? Dahil sa lakas nung pagsabog. So arc flash is the sudden release of unexpected heat and light energy produced by electricity passing through the air like lightning. So yung temperatures na inaabot nitong pagsabog na to can reach up to 19,400 degrees Celsius, which can ignite clothing and burn the skin of anyone within a few feet. So risky po itong klaseng ito yung risk na kinakaharap ng mga taong dealing with high voltage lines, no? So pwedeng sa company niyan or kahit kami dito sa Meralco, we know that risk of too well, lalo na yung mga linemen namin who are always exposed to itong mga live mga high voltage wires natin, no? So yan po yung isa pang electrical risk. And then lastly, yung electrical risk, last electrical risk is yung electrical related trips and falls. So yung tao po ay nag-work sa linya na kuryente at dahil hindi niya na control yung muscles niya, like I said, 'di ba? Pag dumadaloy ng kuryente sa katawan ng tao, pwedeng muscle contraction. Nawawala na yung grip niya, yung control niya sa katawan niya, napaparalyze siya. So from that height, nahuhulog na lang yung tao. So ito po yung nangyayari. So effects, syempre dun sa pagbagsak niya, bone injury, fractures, and concussions, and of course, death is a possibility. No? So yan po yung electrical risks related to electricity. So with that in mind, no, we now understand the hazards, we understand the risks. What can we do, no, as individuals or even in our companies to mitigate or mapigilan natin itong mga risks na to? So we ang Meralco in collaboration with IIEE, no, nag-collaborate sila to develop the 10 golden rules of electrical safety. So rule number one, comply with all applicable industry technical standards in the design, installation, and operation of electrical systems. So ang ibig lang sabihin po nito, pag tayo po ay nagko-construct ng ating mga electrical facilities, dapat sumusunod tayo sa standards. So ano bang standards na ginagamit nating batayan? Ayan, meron po tayong Philippine Electrical Code. No, makapal yan po tinatawag nilang Bible ng electrical installations dito sa ating bansa, no. So yan ang dapat nating sinusunod, no. And then of course meron din tayong other supplementary codes like the National Building Code, no. Meron tayong Fire Code of the Philippines. So dapat po yun, binabasa po yun, at lahat po ng nakasulat na standards doon ay ating sinusunod. Number 2, treat all electrical systems as energized. If there's work to be done on any part of the electrical system, isolate it from the power source and install appropriate tag. So ang sinasabi lang po dito is wag po tayong mag-assume na walang kuryenteng dumadaloy dun sa isang electrical system. Kahit na sabihin natin, ay wala na yan, sira na yan, matagal nang wala nang nakatira dyan. We have to ensure or we have to assume na may buhay pa rin ang kuryente dyan. So ang gagawin po natin, simple lang, pupunta tayo doon sa breaker or doon sa power source niya, main source niya, and i-off po natin yon. And then if ever ang may tinatawag tayong lockout tag out. So ibig sabihin para kasi syempre kung you're going to be working or magtatrabaho kayo dun sa circuit na yon, ang assumption ng mga tao is naka-off. Pwede lang baka pag hindi niyo ni-lockout tag out or hindi niyo nilagyan ng label, pwedeng may dumating at habang nagtatrabaho kayo may mag-on. So madidisgrasya po kayo. So kailangan po yung lockout tag out na tinatawag na method. Number 3, ensure that electrical equipment are properly guarded and appropriately grounded. Like I said kanina, di po ba, yung one of the unsafe conditions, no, is not yung very accessible yung electrical system sa mga tao. So dapat po diyan meron tamang guarding po yan, may tamang labeling po yan, at warning signs na hindi dapat lapitan ng kahit sino man yung electrical system. No? And then dapat appropriately grounded po yung electrical system nyo kasi grounding is a very important process in when it comes to electricity kasi ang gagawin po nito yung excess electrical energy when a problem occurs ay binabato niya kaagad sa ground. So hindi may the risk of getting electrocuted or the risk of damaging other equipment nababawasan dahil may proper grounding. So yun nga po sabi natin, grounding is important for 4 main reasons. Una, yung safety ng tao. Second, protection of equipment against electrical faults. Third is voltage stabilization. And number 4, proper operation of protective equipment. And then number 4, install protective devices that are properly rated, set, and coordinated to automatically isolated faulted parts of the system. Ibig lang sabihin po nito, itong number 4, is that kung ano yung load ng inyong electrical system, dapat may kaakibit din yon na isolation device na pag may nangyari dun sa electrical system na yon, automatic na magsasarado yung isolation device na yon, no, para matigil niya na yung pagdaloy ng kuryente. Because if not, no, ang mangyayari diyan, may problema na pala nangyayari sa electrical system mo pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin nagre-feed ng kuryente yung main source mo. So, delikado po 'yon. Okay? So install niyo po yung tamang protective device rated dun sa inyong electrical load. Number 5, consult and engage the services of PRC licensed electrical practitioners, PEE, REE, RME, and TESDA certified electricians. Ulitin ko, unsafe practice, di po ba kanina, if we're going to go back, is yung unsafe practice is yung pag-hire natin ng mga unqualified na mga tao, no, or electricians to do our electrical works. So ang sinasabi lang po natin dito sa 10 golden rules, dapat po may tamang license po sila, they have the right credentials bago sila gumalaw or bago natin hayaang paggalaw yung ating electrical system. Number 6, ensure the electrical equipments are correctly labeled, conductors are properly color-coded, electrical diagrams are always available, and safety signages are highly visible. So this will ensure na madaling ma-identify yung problem, madaling makita kung nasaan ang problem at ano yung dapat i-isolate. And of course, yung signs are highly visible para madaling maiwasan ng mga tao at makita nila na, uy, very hazardous tong area na to, iwasan natin to. No? So that's very important. Number 7, regularly monitor loading of electrical system components to ensure they are within their rated capacities. Upgrade immediately if necessary. So just to for you to appreciate this rule, alam po natin, no, na for example sa bahay natin, we've been living in our house for almost, sabi natin, 10-20 years. Yung electrical demands ng bahay natin nung bata tayo, iba na doon sa electrical demands ngayon, no? Dati wala tayong aircon, no? Electric pan lang tayo. Tapos nung medyo nagkaroon na ng nakaluwag-luwag na, then or lumaki na yung business, nagkaroon na ng other electrical loads, no, na nakakatulong din sa atin. But ang problem is hindi natin minomonitor kung kaya pa ba nung electrical circuit ng ating bahay or ng ating business yung load na bago. So dapat regularly nating minomonitor yung ating electrical systems para nag-upgrade din yung ating circuits and mga wirings sa ating mga company or sa ating mga kabahayan. Number 8, periodically inspect and maintain electrical systems and equipment. So maintenance lang po. Proper inspection and maintenance is always a good way to identify problems beforehand. Kasi no, if we do not do this, then meron na palang problemang nangyayari, hindi natin nakaka-capture and magsisisi na lang tayo sa dulo. So we have to all regularly inspect and maintain our electrical systems. Number 9, whenever you work within an electrical facility, always ensure that you wear appropriate personal protective equipment and use proper tools when conducting electrical work. No, like I said, if you are if yung certified yung inyong electrical professional, alam niya rin po ito, gagamit po siya ng tamang PPE. No, alam niya kailangan niya ng gloves, alam niya kailangan niya ng arc rated suit kapag kailangan, no, things that will protect him from being electrocuted or from experiencing arc flash explosions. So appropriate PPE po ay talagang dapat required po talaga yan. Number 10, provide disconnecting means for local and manual isolation of electrical equipment during emergency. So alam natin sa Pilipinas, we are sa Philippines is within the Pacific Ring of Fire. So ang daming mga natural disasters na nangyayari sa Pilipinas, flooding, earthquakes, no, bagyo. So lahat po 'yan affect our houses and our businesses. Kaya importante din na yung mga special equipment natin should also have itong mga isolation devices. So pag may nangyari emergency, for example, nagkakaroon ng flooding, madali na nating i-off or tanggalin yung power source ng ating sensitive electrical equipment, no? Para hindi na sila ma-damage further or makapinsala pa ng mga equipment or mga tao around that equipment. So yun po, let's all adopt a safety mindset. So number 1, use equipment as it's meant to be used. So wag po let's make sure na ginagamit natin sa tama yung gamit. Be aware of the surroundings. Number 3, be aware of one's limitations. Number 4, always report problems. So tandaan po that anything that falls below the standard is substandard. No, so kung hindi siya pumapasa dun sa standards ng PEC, Philippine Electrical Code, substandard na po yan. And substandard is not acceptable when it comes to safety. No? So to save lives, businesses, and property, let's all practice electrical safety. Maraming salamat po.
All right, maraming salamat din po sa inyo, Mr. Pineda. Thank you for that wonderful presentation and for building more awareness about the vital importance of electrical safety. And at the same time, also sharing the potential hazards of dealing with electricity. Very important information. Thank you very much for sharing that with everybody this afternoon. Okay, so once again, to get a copy of Mr. Pineda's presentation, a recording of this webinar will be uploaded on the Meralco website. The link will be shared with our attendees as soon as the link is available. And if you have any questions for Mr. Pineda, please feel free to send them through our Q&A tab, which you can access below. Okay, so in the meantime, here's another trivia challenge lifted from Mr. Pineda's presentation. Again, please be ready to type in your answer into the chat box. So I hope you guys are paying attention because here is our trivia question number 2. All you need to do is give me one electrical hazards. Okay, type in your answers now. Among the many electrical hazards, all we are looking for is just one. Okay. Dami yan potential, but then we're going to be choosing from, and this is a clue for all of you already, 12. A total of 12 potential electrical hazards which were shared earlier. Okay, medyo madami nga ang sinesend na ngayon. All correct, but we're looking for 12 that were mentioned earlier. So since medyo madaming natakal kanina, we're going to give you guys a little more time, maybe 5 more seconds, all right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is it. Thank you all so much for participating. Here are the correct answers which we are looking for. So out of the 12, if you got any of these, you get a chance to win a prize. Exposed, energized facilities, overloaded electrical circuits or equipment, loose or lack of grounding connection, damaged wire insulation, loose electrical connections, substandard appliances or electrical equipment, blocked or inaccessible panel boards, dirt and dust accumulation on electrical installations, conductors installed without conduits or raceways, open wiring, improper wiring methods, and inadequate wiring. So if you guys answered any of these, tapos kung kayo po yung pinakamabilis, you stand a chance to win a special prize by the end of the program. Okay, so for our last presentation, our guest speaker will be sharing with us some safety solutions for your business from an expert with more than 30 years of global experience in the electrical industry. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for the Vice President and Head of the Technical Operations and Project Management of MServ. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a virtual round of applause for Mr. June Milla.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. And thank you also for Sean for very complete and precise explanation on safety, and to Superintendent Gerard, thank you also. So now let's level up to the next level of your facility. Of course, you've been experiencing a lot of explanation related to the household faulty or hazard. I will try to give you an explanation on the industry side, or if you have a business establishment. So this presentation will give you a further explanation on how to prevent these measures. Prevention of the electrical for a while. Sorry. Prevention of the electrical hazards in our business operation. I never put this in order, but later I will provide you some insights on how you're going to categorize the priorities on this subject matter. Correct electrical design and construction. As Sian said, there's a lot of international standard, PEC. You have also standard from BFP, CFEI from our LGU. You need to follow for you to prevent those hazards in your design. Proper specification and sizing equipment. Later on, I will provide you some points or some software or some tools that you're going to use for you to verify the specification and correct sizing of the equipment before you're going to proceed on procurement. Third, safe and proper switching procedure. So this is also mentioned by Sean on his presentation, that you need to have permit to work system, lockout, tag out, job safety analysis, and electrical philosophies. This will be the Bible of your operator or electrician. Fourth, correct selective coordination and protective devices. In our system, particularly in our house, so the main circuit breaker should not going to trip or to operate if there's a fault on the downstream. So meaning, if you have fault on your power socket outlet and there's a problem in the equipment that you plug in, so definitely there is a corresponding breaker that protects that equipment, not the main circuit breaker. On this regard, that is the correct coordination. But in our business operation, you need to have to proceed on the power system study. Later on, I will discuss that in detail for you to analyze and give you some insights on how to do the coordination of the protective devices. Fifth, regular preventive maintenance activity and sensitivity on electrical abnormalities. I have a question for you guys. Have you ever experienced electrical abnormalities in your electrical facility or in your household? You can type yes for us to understand if you already experienced these abnormalities. And say no, is meaning to say you never experienced any electrical port or abnormalities in your household or your facilities. Just want to view or just want to see if you really experience abnormalities in electrical facilities. Thank you. Thank you for the response. With regards to the regular preventive maintenance, I will put this another insights for getting the periodical maintenance, because as soon as the equipment is aging, so definitely you need to add some more period of maintenance compared to a brand new equipment. It's the same as what you have when you're buying a car. If there is a brand new car for a whole 1 year, definitely there is a, you know, at least contentment. You can sleep well. You are, you know, safe that your vehicle is going to perform. Compared to the aging car, you need to do the maintenance, right? So that's the same in your house or in your facility. If this is more than 10 years or 20 years, definitely you need to check. You need to verify the life expectancy. Secure safety permits. So this is another point of requirement. It's like the LOTO, also in the electrical permit in LGU, and the Bureau of Fire Department, you need to seek those permits because those authority will check if your design, your documentation is correct. And this is the last thing that you need to do. You need to have a competent manpower or electrician or engineer in yours, in your team. Those people definitely will provide you a correct documentation, design, review, including the, you know, the operation, day-to-day operation. With regards to MServe, what we could offer to our end-to-end solution, as you know, shown on this figure, we are doing audit. When I say audit, this is energy audit, energy efficiency, and conservation law as per Republic Act 11285. This is becoming mandatory to all business enterprise. So MServe are capable to do that because we have authorized energy auditor. Even myself, I'm a certified manager. Advisor, electrical manager, I mean. Advisory. Advisory, MServe can do also consultancy. We could provide you some support in your facility. In the design, yes, MServe can also do EPC, Energy Procurement and Construction. Because Meralco, our mother company, we are one Meralco procurement. So we could provide you most economical and most available equipment that you need in your facility. Build, yes, we have a competent manpower to do the job, to complete the job. Testing and commissioning, operation and maintenance. Just last year, MServe got a half billion project where the client already give us the 5 years operation and maintenance contract, meaning the client already you know, shown that they have trusted MServe to do the operation and maintenance for the next 5 years. So MServe emergency work solution. Why MServe? With regards to the load side, if there's a complaint on the load side, Meralco client. So if there's a problem for the customer, the big customer, MServe is the one who's going to respond to clear and correct the problem. We have 24/7 on-call crew that could support you. In Metro Manila, we could reach you within an hour. Outside Metro Manila, it takes around 2 to 3 hours for us to provide the basket racking equipment. We have also competent engineers on site, direct communication and coordination with Meralco for the switching of the first private pole. So this is another competitive advantage of MServe. If you tap the MServe for your problem in your system, we could coordinate immediately with Meralco team. Vast network of electrical equipment, that's one Meralco procurement. End-to-end solution from conceptual design, procurement, construction, testing and commissioning, we could provide that services. Power system analysis, this is the one I told you. MServe had an ETAP software. So what is this ETAP software? So this could use systematically for you to provide the equipment sizing, short circuit calculation, load flow simulation, protection device coordination, arc plus analysis, harmonic analysis, voltage drop analysis, dynamic and stability study. All this could be completed using the ETAP software. Preventive maintenance services, as I've said before, MServe could provide services to maintain your facility, like the high voltage transformer, power cable, bus duct, capacitor box, generator set. With regards to mechanical and auxiliaries, MServe could provide as well for the chillers, cooling tower, air handling units, fan coil units, F-dust fire protection, and hot water system. With regards to the voltage or with regards to the abnormalities at what I have said to you a while ago, using power quality analysis, we have all the tools, we have all the competent engineers to do this analysis for your system. If you have abnormalities like voltage drop or the voltage is not good, harmonic distortion, there's a fluctuation, there's a power factor issue, you have a real power issue, everything could be captured by this very effective equipment, the power quality equipment. How could an energy management system sustain business continuity and improvement? Energy management system is a software dashboard that displays the key metrics of the customer electrical facilities, such as real-time kilowatt consumption, monthly trend monitoring, operation and control. So for this dashboard, you can monitor even in your cell phone at the remote place. You could check your power quality, you could check your load profile, you could even control with, of course, with corresponding password. So these are the new technology nowadays. So of course, this is a CapEx investment, but in terms of monitoring, in terms of annual operation costs, definitely you're going to benefits on this type of technology. So what is MServe? What is Meralco Energy? It is 100% subsidiary of Meralco, and we have a competence, capital and experience to deliver top quality services and tailor-fit solution. We provided equipment and services that will guarantee total system efficiency for the customer facility and satisfaction. MServe is one of the largest electromechanical contractor in the Philippines. We offer a broad range of solutions to meet customer needs for efficient energy utilization. Me, myself, I'm the AMO of the company. I'm the professional electrical engineer of the company. So I can guarantee you that 100% we will provide you a customer satisfaction 24/7, and that's guaranteed. And Meralco will help us to bring you these services. Thank you, and this is my last slide. Hope that we could see you again in the next engagement of this webinar. And thank you. God bless.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Milia. Incredible presentation. Thank you very much, sir, for those wonderful insights. Okay, so I hope you guys are paying attention again, because here we go now with our third trivia question called from Mr. Milia's presentation. So earlier we were able to find out about what we need to do to be more safe when dealing with electricity, but now in line with that, ito naman. Question number 3. Can you give one MServe service that can help you achieve electrical safety? So go ahead and type in your answer right now. First one to send the correct answer will get to win a prize. Good luck, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to give you a heads up again. We're going to be choosing from 4 possible answers here. Earlier, we've become more aware about the importance of electrical safety. Now we get to find out kung ano yung mga serbisyo ba ng MServe that will help all of us achieve electrical safety. Final 3 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1, and that is it. So hope you guys were able to get it right. Here are the 4 possible answers that we are looking for. Emergency work solutions, power system analysis, preventive maintenance service, and power quality analysis. Thank you all so much for your active participation. Please stay tuned as our trivia winners will be announced before the end of this afternoon's program. All right, and with that, I believe our attendees have already posted some comments and questions directed to our resource speakers. Now, this brings us to our panel discussion for this afternoon. So with that, why don't we call back our speakers, Mr. Michael Antonio from Meralco Biz, Superintendent Jared Venezuela from the Bureau of Fire Protection, Mr. Patrick Sean Pineda from Meralco, and Mr. June Milia from MServe. Hello again, gentlemen. Thank you all so much for sharing your time with all of us here.
You're very much welcome, Kevin.
Sir June, maraming salamat po. That was a wonderful presentation. But just in case we need to remind you guys, we're going to be reading out some questions sent in by our guests. So we're going to be directing it to each of you here. But at any point throughout this whole conversation, kung may gusto po kayong idagdag, feel free to chime in at any point. Okay? First question for Superintendent Gerard. I want to share the learnings from this webinar with my employees and staff. Can we invite a BFP representative to conduct fire safety training for our company? Superintendent, parang
Thank you for the question, sir. Yes, you may coordinate with our nearest fire station in your area. Fire safety seminar is among the services provided by BFP to ensure the dissemination of fire safety awareness to the public. So also, fire safety seminar is a prerequisite for the renewal of fire safety inspection certificate. So I hope that answers your question regarding this.
All right, thank you very much, Superintendent Gerard. I think that was more than enough, but just in case, it's worth also mentioning that we will try our best to answer all the questions that you're going to be sending in, but just in case hindi namin maisagot for this portion of the program, don't worry. Even beyond this afternoon's program, we're going to be attending to all the questions that you're going to be sending in, okay? Second question for Sir Mike. I am interested to avail of the services you offer, but I am not sure which one applies best to my business. What do I do next?
All right, so thank you, Kevin, for that question. I think the first step is to send us an email or call our hotline, then provide us your Meralco account number or service ID number. And then from that, we will review and give recommendation to what program or services that will benefit your business. Ayan. So that's it, Kevin.
All right, thank you very much, Sir Mike. And we're going to be flashing the contact details anyway later on in the program. So just in case you want to reach out to them, mamaya, yung mga detalye na yan, i-share namin sa inyo. Okay, next question para po sa inyo, Sir June. How often should we avail of PMS? For cars, it's based on distance or time. How about for equipment?
Yes, for the equipment, definitely you need to check the aging of the equipment, the lifetime. So if it's on the lifetime, so definitely the regular PMS should be at least quarterly or semi-annual. But it's a brand new or at least 2 to 3 years old equipment, annual will do. Annual maintenance will do.
Pero
Okay,
maraming
thank
salamat
you.
po, Mr. Milia.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, next question, Mr. Patrick Sean Pineda, para sa inyo po ito.
Yes, sir.
You gave us tips on how to keep our businesses safe, but what does Meralco do to keep your facilities safe and protect your customers?
Well, in terms of our own facilities, naman, Meralco always ensures that our lines are well maintained, no? Meron naman po tayong specific crews, no, linemen who are always assigned to ensure yung proper operation and maintenance of facilities ng Meralco. We also have special programs like storm hardening programs, wherein if we know that a particular location is flood prone, or a particular location is yung weak siya in terms of when a storm or high winds pass, then Meralco identifies those areas, ensures that the facilities over there are well adapted to those kind of types of conditions. So that's what we do, and we regularly go out. Our line crew always goes out to inspect and look for possible areas where hazards can occur. And another aspect pala of what Meralco does also to protect its customers is it identifies areas that are near building work sites. Actually, that's also a program of Meralco wherein if they see a construction happening very near yung facilities natin, we do special orientations in those construction sites to remind the workers, remind the owners that these are electrical lines and what they should avoid doing whenever they're near electrical lines. We actually share to them that at least 10 feet distance from our electrical lines is the safest, to ensure na walang makukuryente. So that's what we do. That's what those are the activities that we do to ensure the safety of our facilities and of our customers.
Sir Sean, maraming salamat po. Very insightful again, and very interesting question, because aside from having the peace of mind of learning about all this, it's also for the business owners para makopya po natin yung mga best practices that Meralco follows so that we can also incorporate it with our own employees. Thank you very much for sending that question in. Okay, next question for Mr. Mike Antonio. During summertime, bumababa po ang supply ng Meralco. Paano niyo po maa-address na may mga equipment na hindi gumagana dahil bumababa na ng sobra ang voltage? For instance po, last December, voltage measures is nasa 412 volts. This May po, nasa 390 volts na lang. Paano po yun?
Alright, so medyo technical yung question, no? But I'll try to laymanize my answer. No? So first, I think we need to determine yung load ng customer and then yung supply ng Meralco sa kanya. So that's the first step. From there, we can evaluate ano ba ang cause ng problem. So it's either sa Meralco side, baka kulang po yung supply namin, or sa side naman ng customer, meron din kailangang i-correct. So with that, I think very particular to a case for that particular service. Ang pinakamaganda po is mag-power match po tayo. So I mentioned a while ago yung power match. That's what we do is to review the load and the supply of Meralco. Tapos yun, from there we will do recommendation on how to siguro improve the service supply from the customer to the customer.
Okay, Sir Mike, maraming salamat po. Parang tama naman po yung pag-laymanize niyo, naintindihan ko naman din po siya. Okay, next back to you po, Sir Sean. Kailangan pa po ba i-off or ibaba pa ang mga circuit breakers? Example ng aircon example ng aircon at the end of working hours kahit naka-off na po ang aircon. I'm sorry, I hope you understood that, Sir
Yes.
Sean.
Actually, you don't need to turn off your breakers because the main purpose of a circuit breaker is to shut down in case a fault occurs. no? So essentially, yun naman talaga ang main purpose niya, to shut down if a fault occurs. But if you want to ensure na mababa talaga yung risk of an electrical fault happening, like I said, 'di ba? Electricity will always have hazards with it, and hindi natin sure kung anong pwedeng fault ang biglang mangyari. Then it would be, kung that's what you want to minimize the risk of a fault, then you can turn off the breaker to ensure na walang mangyayari kasi walang kuryente na dumadaloy, 'di ba? Or if you also want to save a little bit of electricity, kaya sabi nga nila yung phantom loads, no? Then you can also turn off the breaker to ensure na makakatipid din kayo ng konti electricity. But to answer the question, no need to turn off the breaker at the end of working hours to it won't affect naman yung safety ng equipment nyo.
All right, thank you very much, Sir Sean. Now moving on to our next question for you this time, Superintendent Gerard. We are building a new office or branch. Does the BFP provide guidance on the fire hazards we should avoid before we start construction, sir?
Yes, of course. During the conduct of building plan evaluation, our evaluators will evaluate your plan submitted to our offices that will guide them, the owner of the building, if they have to include active or passive fire protection equipment in their new building, and to avoid such hazards to be encountered in later on. So this will be based. What I mean is, this will be issued by a fire safety evaluation checklist. By that, and then all hazards will be removed, and what's that? So you can start with the construction based on our evaluation. Hope you get my answer.
Of course, maraming salamat po, Superintendent Gerard. Very nice to also be able to hear all these proponents advocating safety in the workplace, especially when dealing with electricity. Marami po ang tumutulong sa mga negosyo nyo, especially the people here in this room this afternoon. Okay, next question. Back to you, Sir Mike. Nakakasira ba ng equipment ang mga power interruption ng Meralco? Ano ang ginagawa nyo tungkol dito at ano ang maaaring gawin namin to protect our business?
All right. Medyo mahaba yung question, and the answer is also long, but I'll try to shorten. No? So first, there are two types of interruption. Number one is yung scheduled, and number two, yung unscheduled, katulad po ng situations po ng mga emergency or bagyuhan. So ang tanong kung nakakasira ba? So may chance po na masira ang equipment natin during those situations. No? So ano naman ang pwede natin gawin? So ano ang ginagawa pala ng Meralco for that? So sa planned interruption, we do announcement sa social media namin, sa website, and we have even send interruption notices to affected customers. Doon sa unplanned, siyempre yun ay medyo case-to-case basis. Dito medyo dapat alerto tayong lahat. No? So ano yung next na question? Ano yung pwede namin gawin to protect our business? No, in general, yung ating mga equipment sa office is may tolerance naman yan. Katulad ng ilaw, medyo kaya nilang i-withstand yung power interruption. But those equipment na sensitive, yan ang kailangan natin bigyan ng protection, katulad ng time delay, AVRs, or surge protection. So yun po yung pwedeng gawin ng mga businesses to protect your equipment during power interruptions.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Mike. Just in case medyo naku-curious na po kayo, hindi po coincidence na puro loaded yung mga questions sa inyo. Gusto kasi marinig ng mga guests natin yung voice niyo, Sir Mike. Kaya parang more to come pa, more questions to come for you, Sir Mike. But our next question is for you, Sir June. Sa inyo po ulit, Mr. Milia.
Yes.
I often hear about electrical audit. Should we avail it, and why?
Yes, that's a very good question. So energy audit will be mandatory this coming this coming year. I think it's already implemented last year. So this is Energy Efficiency and Conservation Law 11285. So if failure to have this energy audit, I think this is every 3 years. So I think there will be a penalty from ERC. So meaning you need to avail, you need to get energy auditor for you to, to get and improve the energy in every month. Meaning you're going to get some auditor and then find out what in the facility, what part of the facility needs improvement so that you can save power, energy. Because in every saving of power, you're going to, protect the environment because of this carbon footprint. You're going to reduce the carbon footprint. Take note, for the power plant to operate, you need to, to use diesel fuel or any other fuel that will, emit to the environment, like the, like our diesel engine, for example, our generator. So you need to have that energy audit. It's a mandatory now. Thank you.
MServe, does
Mhm.
MServe extend their services to contestable customers?
Contestable customers. Actually, we don't have any restriction on attending clients, no. So as long as it's on our company policy, I think there's no there is no issue on attending any inquiry or support or help. So it's really good that you raised this question. So you can approach the Meralco RM or our commercial team. So if you have any concern on this concern.
Okay, Sir June, thank you very much. Now, up next, we're going to go back to you, Sir Mike. And this question has actually been thrown around several times in our previous Power Up Live webinars. But since this is a very interesting question, perhaps we can throw it back at you. I'm planning to have solar power in my house. Do I need to get permission from Meralco, or do I need to change my electrical meter?
All right. Oh, this is a very common questions during our webinar, no? So the answer is yes, for two reasons. Number one, para safe yung installation ng solar PV system nyo, because our Meralco engineers can guide you with the installation. And then number two reason, para compliance po kayo sa local government, ERC and DOE mandates. And then the second question is kung kailangan bang palitan. Ideally, kung mag-a-apply po kayo sa net metering program or zero export program, pinapalitan po natin yung meter. Because there's a chance na pag nag-produce kayo ng energy, yung excess is pwede siyang maging credit ninyo. But if you don't change your meter, hindi po siya mangyayari at magiging additional pa siya sa Meralco bill niyo. So ideally, you have to change the meter.
All right, thank you very much, Sir Mike. Now, moving on to our next question. Sa inyo po ulit ito, Superintendent Gerard. Our fire safety inspection certificate will expire on December 2023. What should be the date of our fire drill?
There is no exact date, but it should be done before December 2023, before the expiration of the FSIC.
Okay, thank you very much, Superintendent Gerard. Okay, no particular date. Very interesting question as well. Okay, reminding everybody again, just in case you have any further questions or clarification, send nyo lang sa Q&A tab below. So as best as we can address all of these inquiries and questions and clarifications sa segment na po ito. Okay, up next, back to you, Mr. Melia, Sir June. One solution to deter arcing is application of dielectric grease. May I know where we can get this?
Yes, the electric grease, definitely you need to get first the specification. And then for those vendor, you can send the email to me and then I will refer to you. I will ask our procurement team to provide you some info on how to get this dielectric grease. But with regards to Meralco, also, yes, we are also using dielectric grease. But take note, for that particular arcing, you have to consider why there is an arcing. Because if you're going to suppress the arc, definitely there's a consequences. So maybe the insulator, for example, there's already a damage there. So meaning you cannot get the definite solution because the type of fault is depending upon to the voltage level. So just advice, a simple advice to you. You can send email to me and then we'll get back to you.
Okay, Sir June, maraming salamat po doon. Just a heads up again, if in case nakalimutan ninyo, for those that participated in our trivia challenges earlier, please do stick around because mamaya po natin i-announce yung final list of winners. Okay? So back to the panel discussion. We have one more question here back to you, Sir Mike. And again, less technical this time, but a little more interesting, especially since this is very relevant to everybody here. Should tree branch pruning over electrical lines be done by Meralco, the City Hall, barangay, or the homeowner?
And the questions are getting interesting, more interesting. So to answer the question, the first step is to determine what type of the power lines being siguro near to that tree. No? So once we've determined that, we can address kung sino po dapat ang tree trimming. No? So primary lines, in general, Meralco po yan because we're the ones trained to cut trees near the primary line kasi high voltage po yan. So yung secondary, yan medyo tricky po ito dahil meron din pong mga secondary wires na ang nag-install is mga homeowners or local government natin. So with this, doon sa secondary side, I think the best one is to send us a picture para ma-evaluate namin kung sino dapat ang mag-tree trimming. But definitely for the primary lines, si Meralco po yan.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Mike. Often overlooked, pero very important also for as far as my memory takes me. Parang we invited also a business owner to discuss this, that she had her branches pruned and it even improved yung daloy ng kuryente niya, di ba?
Correct, Kevin. I think that's in the one from North.
Perhaps, but that would probably be for another discussion.
All right.
Okay, next question. And I think the questions, in fact, are getting a little bit more interesting here. But this time, this is for you, Sir Sean. Sa inyo po ulit to, Mr. Pineda. Considering that the climate is changing, there are areas with many lightning and thunderstorms every now and then. Parang kagabi lang. Does Meralco conduct safety assessment of the distribution lines every year?
Yes, thank you for that question. Well, as mentioned, no, it's a part of Meralco's business as usual to always ensure that our facilities are safe, no. And so yung question is more of confirmation lang that yes, we continue to inspect our lines, and that's part of our daily business routine. So if ever there are changes, in the climate and anything, Meralco is quick to adapt. We are quick to adapt to any changing environment, and we're always ready to storm harden our facilities for the protection and safety of our customers.
Mr. Pineda, thank you very much. Again, reminding everybody as we wind down with our panel discussion, last call for people to send in all your questions because we will try our best to accommodate as much of them as we can. Okay? So to move on with our next question, back to you po, Mr. Milia. Sir June, can power fluctuation be prevented? Because every time there is a power fluctuation, our HVAC system and compressor turns off due to this.
Yes, that's experience already from MServe. So you can really prevent the fluctuation by using your own generator. But for Meralco, definitely if there is a outside of your facility, so you need to have the power quality analyzer. if it's really from the source or from the Meralco or from the load side. So meaning the fluctuation might be internally, maybe due to starting of the motors or starting of the heavy loads. But if this is coming outside by using your PQ or your, there's a meter which could measure and detects and record the abnormalities in the voltage fluctuation. You could have that. You could install that in your primary metering or in your incomer. So, and this compressor will turn off. Yes, this, if it doesn't turn off, meaning to say your HVAC, if particularly if this is a smart DT HVAC, definitely it will damage the equipment. So that's why you really need to correct this. Meaning to say, there are some solution, for example, power conditioner, or you're providing UPS, or you're providing, dynamic generator. There's some technology in the market that you could, avoid this fluctuation, even though if it's coming from outside or from the source. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Milia. Okay, so from what I've been told, unfortunately, in the interest of time, that is it as far as the questions that we're going to be entertaining is concerned. So thank you very much to everybody who sent in your questions. Reminding all of you again, we're going to try our best to answer each and every question that you sent, even beyond this afternoon's program. Okay, thank you as well to all of our speakers. But before we put this portion of the program to a close, just want to get some parting words from our very esteemed speakers here. Superintendent Venezuela, perhaps you can share some parting words before we close the program.
Thank you for inviting us in this webinar, sir. I expect that the BFP NCR will provide fire safe nation or region, because BFP NCR stands for Buhay ng Pilipino, pangangalagaan namin, the caring region. That's all for me.
Superintendent Jared Venezuela, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Mr. Patrick Sean Pineda, anything you'd like to share for all of our guests?
Thank you very much, Kevin. Yes, I just like to emphasize that safety is something that everyone can do. So all we have to do is recognize hazards and ensure that we can mitigate risks, and always put safety as a mindset in whenever we work or wherever we are at home. That's all.
Thank you very much, Sir Sean. Appreciate it. Up next, Mr. Mike Antonio. Anything you'd like to share with our guests here this afternoon?
All right. So first of all, maraming salamat to our guests and customers attending this webinar. Maraming salamat po to Superintendent Gerard Venezuela. And then I hope we all our attendees here learned a lot from this webinar. So Meralco is your partner to your business. So our goal is to help you be more efficient, safe, and profitable. So we encourage everyone to reach out to us for your energy and business requirements through our hotline, website, or our email. So magandang hapon po. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sir Mike. And last but definitely not the least, Mr. June Milia.
Yes, really appreciated, the invitation here to be your speaker on this particular topic. We are open. MServe is open to all, any suggestions or any inquiry or any, help for the design or for any EPC projects or existing projects. We are here to provide you services, and definitely 24/7, we could, support you in your operational requirement, safety operational requirement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sir June. And again, palakpakan po natin ang mga panelists natin ngayong hapon ito. Superintendent Venezuela, Mr. Pineda, Mr. Antonio, and Mr. Milia, thank you all so much once again for sharing your time, knowledge, and expertise with everybody here. Maraming salamat po. All right, so we hope our audience today were able to learn relevant electrical and fire safety tips that they can readily implement in their business. So for those of you who have questions that were not addressed during the Q&A session, we are going to be reaching out to you after this afternoon's program. Okay, so huwag kayong mag-alala. You may also encode your concerns or requests through our concerns form via the link posted in the chat box. Or you may also scan the QR code which we are now flashing on the screen. And in case you have other power-related inquiries, you may also reach out to our biz partner managers through the channels being flashed on screen. Screen cap nyo, picturean nyo, very vital information here. So for easy reference, okay? Okay, it goes without saying you have certainly been a most cooperative audience, and it truly has been an insightful afternoon to say the least. I hope all of you were able to learn a lot from our distinguished panel of speakers. And with that, thank you very much for joining us today. We hope to see you again in the next edition of Meralco Power Up Live, Empowering Business Growth. I'm Kevin La Peña. Be safe always, everybody, and have a good afternoon.